Okay, so we're about to dive into a story that honestly sounds like it's straight out of science fiction. But here's the thing, it's not. This is a massive shift in healthcare, and it's happening right now, all thanks to AI.
I want you to think about this for a second. What if a totally routine medical scan, the kind people get all the time, could do more than just show you what's happening today? What if it could actually help predict your health years down the road? Well, guess what? That's not a what-if question anymore. And this is the news that makes it all real. We're talking about AI tools that are now officially authorized for use in clinics. These tools can estimate a person's risk of getting breast cancer, maybe 5 years from now, just by looking at today's mammogram. It's wild.
And I really want to stress this point. We're not talking about some experiment tucked away in a lab somewhere. No, these are real, regulated tools that are actually being used in hospitals and clinics as we speak. This is a huge leap, from just a cool idea to a brand new reality in preventative medicine.
So who's actually making this happen? Well, let's look at a couple of the big players. You've got systems like Clairity Breast, which, by the way, is the first AI to get the FDA's stamp of approval for this, and another one called Mirai from MIT. These are the systems leading the charge. What they do is analyze a totally standard mammogram and create a future risk score. It gives doctors a type of information they've just never had before.
Okay, so this brings us to the really big idea, the core of this whole thing. It's this massive shift in what a mammogram can even tell us. We're moving past the idea that it's just a picture, a snapshot of one moment in time.
Right. For decades, a mammogram was a snapshot. Simple. It answered one basic question. Is there cancer visible right now? It was reactive. But now with AI, that same exact image is becoming a forecast. It's asking a totally different, proactive question. Based on these super subtle patterns, what's the likelihood that cancer might develop in the next 5 years? See the difference? We're going from just finding a disease that's already there to actually trying to anticipate future risk. Okay, the obvious question here is, how on earth does it do that, right? How can an AI look at a picture and somehow see the future? Well, it's not magic, I promise. It's all about learning to see patterns that are literally invisible to our eyes. So let's break down how this tech actually works, in simple terms.
So first, it all starts with data. A ton of data. Researchers take thousands upon thousands of mammograms. But here's the key part. They also have the long-term health records for those same patients. So they feed all this to the AI. The AI's job is to look at those old images, pixel by tiny pixel, and find connections, super subtle patterns that link back to what actually happened to those patients years later. Over and over again, it learns to spot these almost invisible signatures that are associated with a higher future risk. So once it's trained, you can show it a brand new mammogram, and it can say, aha, I've seen patterns like this before, and here's what that might mean.
And this is the really crucial point. The AI isn't just trying to be a better radiologist. That's not the goal. It's doing something completely different. It's analyzing these incredibly complex patterns across the whole image that a human being, no matter how skilled, just can't see. It's like it's revealing a hidden layer of information that was there all along, but we never had the ability to read it.
Okay, let's pause here because this next part is maybe the most important thing to understand, and it's where people can get confused. We have to be absolutely crystal clear about what this technology is not, and what it is not is a crystal ball.
What the AI gives you is something called a risk score. That's it. And a risk score is just a statistical probability. It's a number, a percentage, a likelihood. It is not a diagnosis. Let me say that again. It is not a diagnosis. A high score doesn't mean you're guaranteed to get cancer, and a low score doesn't mean you're totally in the clear. It's all about probability, not prophecy.
So, the big takeaway here? Think of this AI as a new tool in the doctor's toolkit. It's a supportive tool. It just gives them one more piece of information to think about. It provides probabilities, not destinies. It's designed to start a conversation, not to end it with some definite prediction about the future. All right, so if it's not a crystal ball, you might be asking, what's the big deal then? What's the real-world practical impact? How does this actually change things for a doctor and their patient in the real world?
And this is where it gets really, really powerful. For you, as a patient, this could mean a screening plan that's tailored just for you. If you have a higher risk score, maybe your doctor says, hey, let's have you come in a little more often. Or maybe they suggest a different kind of imaging. For doctors, it helps them sort of stratify their patients and focus attention where it might be needed most. And again, this isn't about replacing the radiologist. It's about giving them a super smart new assistant.
And honestly, this might be the most brilliant part of the whole thing. To get this incredible new, forward-looking piece of information, what does the patient have to do? Absolutely nothing. Zero. No new tests, no extra appointments. This amazing insight is pulled from the exact same mammogram that's already being done. It is pure, added value from data we already have.
Now, look, with any new technology this exciting, it's really important to keep a level head. This is an amazing step forward, for sure, but we have to be smart about it. Approach the future with a bit of cautious optimism and be really honest about the limitations.
So, and I know I'm repeating myself, but it's that important. This is about probabilities, not certainties. A low score is not a free pass. And remember, these AI models are only as good as the data they're trained on. That means they have to be constantly updated and checked to make sure they're fair and accurate for everyone, across all different groups of people. This is very much a journey, not a final destination.
So let's leave it with this thought. What we're witnessing here is a truly fundamental shift in medicine. We're moving from a world of diagnosing what's wrong today to forecasting what might happen tomorrow. The trend is clear. So the big question for all of us, for patients, for doctors, for everyone is this: as this power grows, how do we prepare ourselves to use it wisely?